What's up, folks? David Soto Jr. here, and this is the David Soto Jr. podcast. What's up, folks? Welcome to episode 67 of the David Soto Jr. podcast. I am your host, David Soto Jr. Okay, well, part 3 of the story of us. Where I left off, I believe, is when you know who jumped out of this giant pickup truck and opened up the Bally Total Fitness on an early Saturday morning or something. So the waitress who had emailed me while I was deployed motivated me to get my certification. We ended up becoming a couple, and she practically moved in with me and lived with me, and we had a pretty good relationship going. I was kind of miserable. From this perspective now, as being a 47-year-old man, I realize now that I was depressed then. And even though I had this great job teaching at Veteran College, and I had a beautiful girlfriend, and I had a house and a car, and I was doing okay. But I was still kind of unhappy, and that was compounded by the politics at my job as an instructor. I ended up getting promoted and was in charge of the whole HVAC program, which was a very stressful situation because there were two very considerably older gentlemen who were instructors who also wanted the position but didn't get it. And then the added factor that students who didn't do well failed. I failed them. And if they did continue to if they decided to drop out, then that would mean no funds for the school, which was not acceptable. So I was actually motivated and told to give these guys extra credit, do something to let them pass. Just basically, I was told to pass them so that they would stay in, and that kind of didn't settle right with me. So I thought that I would need a change, and I decided to quit teaching and to pursue personal training full time. With the support of my girlfriend at the time. Let's just call her Tracy. So with the support of Tracy, she was practically living with me. She was there every day, 24/7. She didn't own, no furniture, nothing in the house was hers. So she didn't move in, but she did live with me full time. And, she kind of supported me, told me to go for it. I did it. I quit my full-time job as the director of HVAC at a trade school to pursue a career in personal training. And the number of clients I had was 0. But I had faith. I have faith in myself all the time. I really think that everything I want will come, and that everything will work out, and I'll be able to achieve whatever I want. So I quit, and I went to work full time spend a lot of time trying to get clients. And I was failing. Bills were coming due, house payment, groceries. Of course, Tracy was helping me with groceries, but it was just car payment too, and bills. I think I actually missed a house payment as I couldn't get any clients. I couldn't make any money, and I quit my full-time job. So this was pretty stressful situation for me. And one day, I don't want to get too far off track, but one day I knew who to turn to for help, and that person's name was Zig Ziglar. Now, he's a very old motivational speaker. He's passed away a few years ago. It kind of broke my heart, but I still listen to Zig. I still do, and I knew that I needed help. He had a book called The Secrets of Closing the Deal. I bought the tape. I listened to it on my car. I bought it over the weekend and listened to it in my car on the way to work on Monday. And I closed the deal. I got a client. And that's when I realized that personal training didn't matter how much knowledge I had and how much certifications I had. It just mattered if I was a good salesman or not. And I just ended up being a good salesman and started closing deals, getting clients, being recognized as the top 20 in Bally's nationwide for sales. I don't know if that was for a week or for a month or whatever, but I started doing really well. And I started to get a lot of clients. I was able to recruit, prospect off the gym floor, pick up a client, put them through a workout, they love it, and then I'd sell them a package. And I ended up doing really, really well, making pretty good money. And I was able to catch up on the house payment, buy a new car, and everything was going pretty good. And then I don't remember, I would occasionally see, who, the Manchester Bally was one of the gyms in her route. But it was never, we didn't get to really to know each other yet. In the meantime, I broke up with Tracy, and because I started dating clients, and I don't know, that was one trainer said to me one time. I remember it's like, why are all your clients hot girls? And I was like, well, I don't know. But I obviously knew, and I ended up dating one of my clients that we used to call Angelina Jolie, because she kind of looked like Angelina Jolie. So we never even said her name. We always called her Angelina Jolie. And by this time, whose position at Bally had changed to manager, full-time manager at Manchester. So my gym. So now, as if you recall from part one, this person that was a source of light in a dark place for me one day, literally a dark place. I wasn't in a dark place, but I was in a dark place, literally, is now a full-time employee at the gym where I train and where I work full time. Sheena works there full time. And I just remember her. Like, so I'm definitely a big guy. I was a big guy then, more into lifting weights, obviously. And I got the name Big Dave. So I was called Big Dave. And I just remember walking around in my gym clothes and my gym personal trainer polo t-shirt, walking around feeling like I'm cool. And there's who at the front desk with some type of paper in her hand, looking at it, and she's calculating something. And she looked up and she's like, "Hey, Big Dave." And she doesn't remember calling me that. And I don't know if she'll ever admit that she said that. But it's a lasting impression that she took up, that she knew who I was. She took up my name, my nickname, and she saw me and said hi. And as she was working as she worked there full time, we kind of started getting to know each other. And I remember being in my boss's office, sitting there, and who was sitting next to me, and we're talking and we're laughing, and she's playfully leaning into me, or leaning into each other, and then she got up and walked away. And the supervisor was like, "Dave likes Trish." And I was like, "Hell yeah, I do." I didn't say that. I'm like, but I did. I really did. But I don't know. Nothing was really happening. Didn't know her status, of whether she was single or not. I had seen her talking to a guy who had come by, and then I remember her saying that she had to go meet him for lunch at Bandanas. It's a barbecue joint, and I didn't know if they were dating or not, or what her status was. In the meantime, I was dating Angelina Jolie. And I don't know how it happened, but one day we ended up in, I don't know if it was her car or my car. After work, and we didn't want anybody to know that we were hanging out, so we were parked in Bally. I think we went somewhere real quick and then came back, but we didn't park in front of Bally's because we didn't want to get out of the car. We knew we didn't want to end our evening or our day. So we parked in the parking lot, but it's a strip mall, so we parked in another section of the parking lot, in the mix, so to speak. And that's what she called it, and that's what we called it. We were in the mix. And whenever we talk about this time of our life, this moment of our life, we talk about the mix. And we were in the mix, and we were so dumb because it was a clear night, and we had the sunroof open, and we were just not even dating yet, not even anything. We're not a couple. We were just two people at work who had went and did something after work, and we're in the car, and we were like, just one of us said it, and I don't know who, but we said, we're looking up through the sunroof, and we're like, if we see a shooting star, we're gonna have to make out. And we never saw a shooting star. At least I don't think so. Anyways, folks, that's it. That's where I'm going to end this. Appreciate you tuning in. Check me out on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at David E. Soto Jr. All right. Thanks.